So, I would first like to say that I really enjoyed this class. This class had prompted me to reevaluate the way that I think about languages and the way that I think about the ways in which we communicate. Also, to reevaluate the ways in which I understand how children acquire language and the things that they do to communicate, and what that means for us as adults who are helping them to create space in which to do that in. Um, I'm not going into anything as far as education goes. I'm going into psychology, but my minor is in criminal justice, and so my goal in life is to work with parents and children who have been affected by addiction. I ultimately want to start a treatment facility where parents, men or women, can go to recover with their children. And so the skills that I have learned in this class and the things that I have learned in this class are going to be integral in that, in prompting children to speak about their experiences in a safe place, and helping them to grow and become healthy, and helping the families themselves to become healthy families. So I think the first thing that I have taken from this is the ways in which we talk about communication and the languages that we speak. And the poet Ali, his TED Talk really is what got me started thinking in this class about the ways in which we communicate and the ways in which we find common ground with which to communicate. Um, I can lead a completely different life as somebody else, but there are languages that we share in common. And it's those common languages, like the language of loss or the language of poverty, or whatever that may be, that can prompt us to find some common ground with which to communicate with each other and then to communicate with the rest of the world. And that is something that is important to me, very much so. It has also prompted me to think about the cognitive processes, which is a lot of my psychology classes have to do with cognitive processes. And it's really kind of expanded my whole idea of how language fits into that, and the ways in which learning about language can affect other cognitive processes. Learning about the Aborigine tribe who thought about direction and space, and the space that they inhabit in the universe in relation to the universe itself, instead of it being an egocentric type of language, how that affected the way that they thought about other things. That really prompted me to start thinking about how the language that we speak affects the way in which we see the world and the way in which we perceive things, and how that can account for the ways in which we find it difficult to communicate with people that come from other cultures and other backgrounds. And it doesn't have to be something as extreme as an Aboriginal tribe that, speaks in completely different language, but just the different cultures that live here in the United States, and how we have a hard time, I think, communicating sometimes how we feel about things and the way that we think about things, and finding that language of commonality with which to start from. So I would say that before I thought about language as a completely utilitarian piece of what we have in our repertoire, right? And it really isn't. Like, language is ever expanding, ever changing. And I no longer think of it in that unilateral type of way. I have started to think of it as a way of which to branch off into all of these different possibilities. And from those possibilities, I think that great things can happen. And so I would like to thank Dr. Thompson and all of the student teachers and everybody in this class for contributing to the discussion and creating that space in which to grow and learn. And hopefully I will get to take another elective in my next 3 semesters before I graduate, because I would really like to take another one of these classes. So I really did enjoy it. I wish you all a great summer, and I hope everybody has success in their academic career from here on out. Bye.